Hello and welcome to Facebook Live 121 of 365 days. My name is Jessica Lozano and I am a women's relationship, sacred union, relationship, and feminine embodiment mentor. And I help women have extraordinary love lives. And I help women who are stuck in really toxic cycles and want to break free from these toxic cycles and have the love that you desire. So today's Facebook Live is for the woman who either experiences narcissistic relationships or is in relationships where she's constantly not feeling validated, heard, or seen. Relationships where men seem to be pretty selfish and maybe manipulative, somewhat controlling, where you feel like you're always having to defend your part, to defend your truth, to defend who you are. So if this is you, keep watching. If you know of anyone, a woman who tends to feel this way, please share it with her. It would greatly benefit her, and I would love for women to end these types of cycles because it's not helping you have the freedom and love that you desire, and is keeping you stuck in very low vibrational relationships, and also it's affecting you in other areas of your life. So if your one area is kind of hanging low in the vibration, it's going to somehow pull you down in other areas depending on the degree, and I want to free you. I want to free you. That's what I came here to do, to free women to live a sovereign life, to have a sacred union relationship so that we can change the world, so we can change the frequency of the planet, so we can change the homes that children are birthed in, so you can have the life and relationship of your dreams, so that when you're like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you're married with your babies, if you desire babies, or, building a career or traveling, your lifestyle, you're like, oh my God, like this is my life. That's what I want you to feel. So if you know a woman who falls under these categories, who seems to consistently be under narcissistic relationships, seems to be in relationships where she's always consistently defending her truth, this live is going to be for you. Because this is a common thread. What I'm going to talk about today is a common thread that I see all the time in these sort of relationships. All the time. And it creates a lot of disempowerment in the woman. This creates a lot of not trusting herself. This creates powerlessness. This creates fights. This creates this toxic loop of not feeling enough, of having big fights, then making up afterwards, and then having these highs and lows. And really, it just doesn't serve you as a woman, and it doesn't serve the highest good of the relationship. So what I tend to see all the time, and what I help women through all the time, is when, I had to pause there because I'm like, how do I explain this? Is helping them to understand that two truths can be present in the same moment. Two truths can be present in the same moment. What does that mean? It means that your partner has a truth and you have a truth. Those two things can be alive right here, right now. And truth does not need defending. Truth does not need defending. I want you to really hear that, okay? Your truth does not need to be defended, because truth is your truth. You don't have to defend your truth to your partner if what you know is true in your heart. And this is what I see all the time in women who are in these narcissistic relationships, or who are in relationships where they're constantly defending themselves, where they don't feel like they are enough in a relationship because they're constantly defending their truth, for some reason needing the validation of their partner to believe what they're saying, when what they already say within themselves they know to be true. They know, you know who you are as a woman. You know who you are as a woman, and you do not need to defend that. If your partner is arguing with you about how you feel about yourself, or he's trying to gaslight you or trying to make you seem like it's not true, he has every right to believe whatever the fuck he wants to believe. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to defend who you are as a woman and try to bend over backwards to prove your own truth. And this is what I see all the time in my work. All the time. And my work is to bring them back to their power. So I want to bring you back to your power so that you see yourself and you can acknowledge that, okay, he doesn't have to believe me, and that's okay. It's okay if he doesn't believe you. Why do we create these ideas that our partner has to believe us if we already believe our truth? Why? Okay, honey, that's what you believe. That's what you believe. We'll have an agree to disagree situation right here and right now. So what happens is when our partners don't agree with us, we get really emotional. We get really upset. We get triggered. Our emotional intelligence is high. Our emotional intelligence is low. So our emotions are high. Our intelligence is low. So we have a hard time trying to figure out what it is to do next, right? And then we start fighting. We start doing all these things. And then it gets just worse and worse, right? Because you're trying to defend your truth. And then your partner keeps trying to prove that you're wrong. Now, this can also be in situations where someone is just being dismissive, okay? Like, let's take away the extreme part of this where it's like, gaslighting and things like that. And let's just say that someone is just being dismissive about your current situation, or they're not really understanding you, right? They're not really understanding what you're going through, and for whatever reason, no matter how much you try to communicate with them, they're just not getting it, right? I recently had this conversation with the client, with her trainer, who is a man, and and to his defense, and to the defense of the container, there's not enough conversation to be going back and forth to really see everything that was happening inside of my client's life. And she was trying to explain how her life is really crazy right now. She couldn't only work out 2 days a week. Like, that's what she can commit to. And he's really pushing her to work out 3, to do a minimum of 3, right? I even saw the whole conversation. She shared it with me. Or basically she sends an email and then he replies with the video, like a 4-minute video. Like, how much understanding is really going to happen there? There's not much. This guy probably has a lot of clients. He probably does 100 check-ins a week. So he needs to 5-minute videos for everybody. It needs to go quick. 5 times, that's 500 minutes, right? I don't know how much that translates into hours. That's 3 hours maybe, right? 60, maybe 3.5 hours that he's doing this on Mondays and Tuesdays, right? Which is what the check-in is. And when he was sharing with her was that, okay, I know that you're really busy, but you need to take time for yourself, and you need to really dedicate 3 days a week to your training, because 2 days is not enough time in the gym. It's too much time outside of the gym. And, basically let go of people pleasing. He didn't say like that, but he was saying, this is what I think I'm seeing, and and I need you to do 3, right? So she shared it with me, and she's like, I just feel like he's gaslighting me and things like, well, he's not gaslighting you, but he's being dismissive and not really understanding you. Now, this is a man who's a trainer, who's in a position of authority. And I just say man because I don't understand. In my opinion, I'm like, okay, he probably hasn't experienced taking care of somebody. He probably hasn't experienced the load of what that means to be a caretaker. That's a lot. I fucking understand. So I know, it's a lot. And he probably doesn't get it. Sometimes when people haven't gone through a certain experience in their life, they don't understand you and they don't understand what you're going through. Now, keep in mind also, he's a man, so men have a different mentality and have a different biological body, physiology, right, that allows them to actually take on a lot more, higher stress levels, and to really do more so than women. Okay? That's what you see why a lot of women have a lot of hormonal issues, gut issues. We're more prone to autoimmune disease. That is because we are more sensitive. We require more rest. And that is a gift. That is not bad. Okay? It's not bad. We just have to know how to work with it. So she was getting upset about this situation and, getting really upset about it. And like, he doesn't get it. Like, I'm not working with him in October. I'm like, cool. If you don't want to work with him, once your container is complete with him, you don't have to. But how are we going to lead in this situation, right? Because the thing is, two truths can be right here, right now. Meaning, he doesn't quite see, and he's telling you, you still need to make it happen. You still need to work out 3 days a week. You're like, no, I can only do 2 times a week. That's as much as I can do, and I can probably squeeze in some walks in the evening and things like that. So I was like, these are two truths. You're like 2 days a week. He's like 3 days a week, right? Even though he's in a position of authority and he's your trainer, you can still lead yourself in this container with that understanding of, okay, we're in an agree to disagree, and this is my workout. This is my life. I'm going to choose what I can do. And if he decides to send me 3 workouts, I'm going to choose 2 out of those workouts that I love. And if I can make it a 3rd day, great, but I'm not going to obligate myself to it. I'm going to continue to lead myself in this container, especially because I have 2-3 more months with this man. I'm going to lead myself in this container. I am going to lead myself in this container, right? So that's what she did. And I said to her, you don't need it. And because she replied to him and said this like a few paragraphs about what she's going through. I'm like, look, and you don't even need to defend yourself. You know what's going on in your life, right? She also has a bunch of other things happening, right? She has a full plate. You know what's going on in your life. You don't need to defend yourself. You can just say, I hear you. I'm sticking to 2 days a week. Thank you for listening. This is what I'm doing. I love your workouts. I want to, if I can do the 3rd one, that'd be so awesome. I'd be so thrilled. And I know that I can commit to 2 days a week. That is leading yourself with 2 truths that are right here, right now. And let me tell you this, ladies, even in a beautiful relationship like the one that Ron and I have, there can still be different truths, different opinions available at the same time. It's like, okay, I'm going to agree to disagree on this, and I'm going to continue to live my life. I'm going to give you a really silly example. Ron is all about this, he's all about the meat right now. He loves eating meat, and he doesn't believe a lot in vegetables and things like that. I love vegetables, and I need vegetables in order for me to have my daily poo. So for a while we were it seemed as though he was trying to convince me to eat more like him, like, you don't understand. So I eventually had to okay, there's, babe, we're going to be in agree to disagree. So please understand that this is what I have and this is my life. And I'm going to continue to eat like this. And I would appreciate it if you wouldn't make commentary about my vegetables, because it's just really starting to bother me. I know you believe differently, but this is my truth. I know from experience. As soon as I stop eating vegetables, I get clogged up. So fairly silly example. But that's an example of 2 truths. So you have to know how to lead yourself in your relationship so that you're not creating a blow up fight, or you're not consistently trying to defend yourself or create bickering in a relationship when it's not needed. So if you find yourself in this situation, and this is what I tell all my clients, which has radically shifted their relationship, where they decide to stay in this relationship, and it does change the energetics where they're no longer feeling like they're defending themselves, and they're now standing in their truth, and they're seeing like, okay, let me see how this relationship is going to continue to evolve because of this person. And then the other ones, it's more of a situation where it comes to like understanding how to communicate with your beloved. So, or they find out, or they're like, you know what, you're right. I'm standing in my truth. This relationship is not for me, and I'm going in the other way. Like, I'm believing in myself. I understand myself. I know my truth, and my partner is just not seeing it, and it's really important for me, and he keeps fighting me against it, and this container is not for me. Like, I'm moving forward, right? This is the power of, and you do it with grace, with two truths can be present at the same time. When you understand that, you're not defending yourself, right? You're not wasting energy. You're not going into a fight, creating powerlessness within yourself, trying to prove yourself. So that means you have emotional intelligence, and you can lead yourself on what your next steps are. You can lead yourself in, okay, what am I going to do now? How does this affect me? What feels really good for me right now? Let's see what happens. I'm going to take a couple of weeks to see how this relationship unfolds. Or maybe you're drawing yourself up to really serious conclusions about what this relationship means, right? If you're not defending yourself and you're standing in your power, you can see so much more clearly yourself. You can see so much more clearly who you are, and you can see the truth about the relationship and how it aligns to you, right? That's what you want. You don't want to keep fighting all the fucking time. What you really want is to see if this relationship is aligning with you. So many times, the women put so much attention on the man and not enough attention on themselves. It's like, oh yeah, but he's doing this, but he's doing that. It's like, no. I understand. Let's bring it back to you. Where are you holding your power? Are you not holding your power here? Why are you defending yourself? Do you believe what you're saying is true? Oh my God, yes, Jessica, I believe. I know that I'm a trustworthy woman. I know I would never, I know how to take care of myself. I would never talk to any other man. I know okay, so then what are you defending? And it's like a light bulb goes on. What are you defending? Truth doesn't need to defend. So when that happens, you can now lead yourself because you're not activated. You then respond. You're like, okay, what am I going to do next? What's my next move for me? What can I do? Do I need to dance this energy out of me? Do I need to journal? Do I need to reflect? And you move forward, you lead yourself. So you're now, instead of being in this cycle right here, it stops and then you can lead. You'll maybe try to engage again. You won't even engage. And then you lead yourself again. And you get to witness what happens in this relationship, right? And when you bring the power to yourself, you no longer feel like you're suffering. Right? That's the main thing in these relationships. There's so much pain and suffering. So much pain and suffering. Pain and suffering is not a part of a healthy relationship, an incredible relationship, and definitely not part of a sacred union relationship. If you're in suffering, you're most likely in a shadow matched relationship, which feels crazy amazing on the days that it feels crazy amazing, and then it feels crazy bad on the days that it feels crazy bad. That is not healthy. That is one definition that I would fall under shadow match relationship. One definition. There's definitely other reasons, things that fall under that. So once you return the power back to yourself, once you recognize your truth, you build confidence, you build your inner security, you build your self-trust, you know who you are, you solidify who you are, you get to see the beauty of who you are and what you offer in a relationship. You're no longer bending yourself backwards, you feel enough, and you have the confidence to move forward. You have personal power with men. You have personal power in your relationship. You want personal power in your relationships. You don't want to feel disempowered. You don't want to feel like I'm not enough. You don't want to feel those types of things, right? So you feel power, and you're going to lead yourself with power. When you feel powerless or hopeless or not enough, you're leading yourself with that energy. And as you can see, the results are going to be completely different. One's going to stay in that frequency. You're just going to continue to lead yourself in that kind of drama, and trauma. One, that's the one that's in powerlessness, not enoughness. That's how you're going to lead yourself. Then the other one is going to lead yourself in your soul-led path, in life expansion, in power, and confidence. And I know who I am. Taking action with yourself, having courage. That's going to lead to a completely different trajectory in your life and a completely trajectory in your relationship, and align you to the highest relationship that you possibly want. So that completes today's live. Right now, I have a few spaces available for my one-on-one coaching container. This is a 6-month mentorship container for the woman who is desiring to, who's a spiritual woman who is healing from narcissistic and toxic relationships and wants to be adored by her king. She wants to have the relationship of her dreams, the man of her dreams, this sacred union love that is a high frequency love that heals and expands and does so much for the collective. It's not just for you two, meaning like your love is a beacon of light for a lot of others. It's a beacon of light for your children that you will have in the future. It changes the frequency of the planet because of the template that this type of love brings, because you are actively living your life. You're actively moving forward in your dreams. Everywhere you go, you are spreading your light in the world. And together, you create a new legacy for your generation in whatever way that looks like. This is high level work. This is for the woman who really wants to take radical responsibility of her life. We will be going in deep into conversations about mother wounds, father wounds, inner child wounds. We're working on our shadows. We're going to expand and home more light and love into our bodies. We're going to heal your relationship with money, heal your relationship with men. We're going to create a new identity. We're going to break generational curses, dysfunctions, traumas, all the things. We're going to individuate you from your past and create a new trajectory for your world. So if this is you, message me. I would love to talk to you and see where you are and talk all about the things and see if this is a perfect match for you. I also have a one-on-one I have a 1-month intensive as well. And we do a one-on-one call and have 4 weeks of Telegram coaching, which is freaking awesome. It's like so much power happens in those sessions. And we work on 1 to 2 specific things that you really want to break through from. So if you really want to break through on holding your power in relationships, we can really focus on that and really zone in on that. So yeah, message me if you're interested in either one of these. I look forward to talking with you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.